Digimodify! Podcast activate!
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 75 of LostinTranslationmon. I'm May.
And I'm Jay.
And this week is a special episode because it's our 100th episode, because we've also done specials and all those other things. So,
Welcome to episode 75, aka episode 100.
yeah, because numbers, I guess. No, it's not our 100th episode of the main show, but including all the special episodes that we've done, it is our 100th episode. So that includes the Aptly episodes as well.
So we sat down here 100 times in front of this microphone.
More than 100 times because of those times that we had to record twice.
Oh god.
Which happened twice.
Okay, so you've edited 100 shows.
No, what about the time it's crashed during editing and I had to re-edit? That's happened a few times.
Put too much work into this.
I put too much work into this.
I put too much work into this, which says you put way too much work into this.
This week we watched The Battle Within.
Or Showdown, Dukemon versus Beelzemon.
And No Mon is an Island.
Or Battle with Jiuqiamon.
No, we know how to pronounce it now. It's Jiuqiamon, because I said in the episode and now I know.
You mean Zuhuqiamon?
Yeah.
Yeah? Zuhuqiamon? I call him Phoenixmon in all of my notes.
I noticed.
Saint Galgamon, Ultimate Evolution.
And there's not really any Digi-News or Lost in News Lately-mon this week. I got a tattoo. It's a Digimon tattoo. It's like half the crest of love, and then the other side's got the crest of purity on it, so that's a thing. But that's not really news. And on to Obnoxious Synopsis. The first episode that we're watching this week is called The Battle Within, or Showdown, Dukemon versus Beelzemon. What do you think will happen in this episode?
I think that Dukemon and Beelzemon are going to fight. And then, the Battle Within sounds to me like... Because you could... At first, I interpreted that as maybe Guilmon and Takado will have they're kind of a conflict. They just got over everything. So it'll be like... Dukemon and Beelzemon are fighting, but at the same time they're trying to convince Beelzemon to not be a crazy person and go back to being Impmon, who was nice.
Was he?
He was getting there, maybe.
Yeah, well, I guess he wanted to go swimming with them when they went to camp.
Yeah, he loves swimming.
That was really cute. Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
I don't know, just Beelzemon being Beelzemon, just being a huge weirdo all the time. If it's mostly about this fight, then also every time it cuts to Kazu and Kenta being useless and pointless. Mm-hmm. And that's about it.
Oh yeah, like the last episode? I guess
You mean every episode?
They tried to help Juri, kind of.
They've never been useful.
Do you think it'll be a good episode?
I mean, they really have to... It's in a good zone, right? Mm. It's a good area, and it's still the same sort of arc, so I'm going to give it... The momentum's probably fine.
What rating will you give it?
I'm going to give it a 7 point...
You really like the point slightly, jeez.
7.97. Just barely not an 8.
Filler or not filler?
Not filler. Can't be. If they're fighting. Legit.
Any other thoughts?
No.
Do you think Dukemon will win?
Yes.
That was a very unsure yes.
That's how I feel.
Ah, I see. The second episode that we're watching this week is called No Mon is an Island, or Battle with Jiuqiamon, Saint Galgomon, Ultimate Evolution. What will happen in this episode?
I think Rapidmon evolved into Saint Gargomon.
So do you think it's just a regular evolution to Ultimate?
I think that it's going to be another fusion between Terriermon and Gen, now that they sort of know it works this way. And Saint Gargomon sort of... Because the thing is, you're not Gargomon anymore, right? Mm-hmm. After Rapidmon, so it doesn't make sense for Rapidmon to turn back into Gargomon. It'd be like Garbumon turning into Gurumon turning into Metal Garbumon.
Okay, that's fair.
That's weird. Or Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Agumon. That doesn't happen. But you could go, instead of to Gargomon, you could go to Saint Gargomon. That would work.
Yeah.
Because you're just kind of adding Gen into it, who is a controlling factor, maybe. The discussion of No Mon is an Island is interesting. I think you might have to address the differences between Gen and Terriermon at that point, where Terriermon has to sort of accept that,
Gen's boring.
not that, but, accept that Gen has done him a lot of good. Because I think he's obviously very independent and just sort of, what's the word I'm looking for here? He sort of respects Gen, but doesn't, they're the partners, but it's not... They're not one entity, really. Not like Guilmon and Takado are. Well, especially now.
Guilmon was created by Takado, so maybe that's why they seem closer. What do you think Saint Galgamon will look like?
I guess I feel like it would be like Rapidmon, but if it was a big green Royal Knight.
So do you think this is also going to be a Royal Knight?
I think it'll look like one.
So do you think he'll be a mech like Rapidmon?
I think it'll be green.
Well, duh. Will you like his design?
Probably. I like Terriermon a lot. Although Rapidmon's not that nice a design.
I love Rapidmon. He's so cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's like a speedy mech bunny. Reminds me of Diva.
It's okay. Could be better. Diva doesn't drive a bunny, though.
She would.
No, she drives a big bee.
She likes bunnies.
She does like bunnies.
She's got a bunny
it's
on
her
her.
brand.
Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
It would annoy me if like they don't sort of really justify a second fusion, because they justified the first one pretty well. Obviously, they basically did half an episode on it. Whereas this one, I don't want them to be like, we can fuse now, let's go, and then just do it. Because...
Like the final Jogress, which was Takaru and Iori, where they just kind of said, we can Jogress together now.
It's just like, oh, well, now we know we're the ones who would be together, let's go.
Yeah.
That should have been a source of pressure for such a long time. But instead they were like, oh, we figured it out, great, let's go. And it just worked. Because that's how things go.
Do you think it'll be a good episode?
I think it'll be Terriermon focused, so as always, when that happens, I think it will be.
What will he be his sass level?
I think it will be so goddamn high.
What rating will you give it?
I think it will be an 8.5.
Not point anything, just a half.
That's 0.5. You lose.
I know, but you can write a fraction. You can write it as decimal, or you can write it as a fraction.
I will write it as a decimal.
Okay. Just making things sure.
8.5.0.
Filler or not filler?
Not filler. They see Jukiamon and they fight them and think Agumon's gonna lose.
Well,
No. They're going to be losing, and then Agumon's gonna show up at the end.
Do you think it'll do the usual thing of, because I actually can't remember, I'm losing, I'm a bad guy, so I have to leave now, which seems to be a theme in Digimon.
No, because Jukiamon's gonna be winning this episode.
Oh, so you think the evolution will be for nothing and
No, the evolution will be right at the end.
Oh, right.
Like Dukemon.
Right. And anything else you want to say about this episode?
None good.
Alright, well, hopefully they're good episodes and you continue to enjoy Tamers.
I'm hungry.
Oh, do you think Leomon comes back?
No, he's dead.
Oh, you think he's forever dead?
He's dead.
Forever dead, alright. Do you think Jury is okay?
He might be a ghost. No, he got loaded. He's dead.
Do you think Jury is okay?
No.
Okay.
I think she's royally messed.
Alright, so I guess we'll on to the show then and we'll see what you think.
On to the show!
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
That was a reference to Hearthstone.
I know. I believe you. That's all you talk about. Alright, well, on to the show. Pachoo! The first episode starts with Shuchon and Lopmon being both lost for words about Dukemon, and it's kind of sweet that they're both saying that they're lost for words because they're pretty different, like, as far as their personality goes. And for them to have the exact same reaction, it shows that this moment is quite impactful. That two characters with different personalities are reacting in the exact same way.
It's obviously, it's universal.
Yep. And everybody is wondering where Takato is, even though in the dub, Dukemon speaks half with Takato's voice. So,
Well, I mean, like, if you had a dinosaur's voice layered over your voice, I'm not necessarily sure I'd recognize you.
I feel like you'd hear part of it.
Also, everybody's wondering where Takato is. However, the reaction of, I'm completely lost for words, always it sort of implied to me initially that they all witnessed something more than an evolution. Like, they saw a child fuse with a Digimon. So it made sense to me, they all just saw it, so why wouldn't they know where Takato is? So when they're all like, where did he go? They all sound really stupid.
Yeah,
like
well,
they just forgot watching it happen.
Well, they didn't watch that evolution that we just did.
But they did, it was right there.
I know, but it clearly looks different. It doesn't, it doesn't fill up the TV in real life.
I mean, they would all glow and then spin slowly.
Yeah,
You know what evolution really looks
it's
like.
Apparently it's really awkward.
It's really funny.
Maybe from far away it was hard to see.
Also, in Japanese, I didn't really... It's just... Gilmon just goes Gilmon Evolve.
Yeah, it's just an evolution. And they call it Matrix Evolution. Even though Matrix Evolution is also the evolution to perfect.
But they only call it that in the next episode.
Yeah, but that's what it's actually called. It's called Matrix Evolution.
That's stupid.
In the English version, it's Biomerge.
Yeah, I know. But it's actually better that they gave it a name.
Yeah.
If they were like Jogress, this would make slightly more sense, even if you're reusing the word.
Yeah. So Beelzemon and Dukemon are fighting, and a bike magically lands on Beelzemon, and it's really amusing for some reason.
To be fair, it's a magic bike.
I know, but I don't know why I found this as amusing as I did.
Because it was really sudden and out of nowhere. And it came from the sky, which makes no sense for the bike to come from there. There's a really good line, sort of, when Dukemon's fighting. It's like, I will never forgive you for being evil or whatever. And Beelzebub just goes like, "You can't forgive me for being who I am." It's like,
But
that's pretty legit.
That's also from the end of the last episode, though. So I don't really cover them in the bits that we've already sort of seen.
Also, Dukemon's movie is called Royal Saber, but he has a lance. He does not have a saber. He doesn't even have a sword. Let's be very clear. He does not have a sword.
Well, maybe it's like a saber, lance. It's both.
It's not. That is impossible. A saber is very clearly a sword.
Well, we don't know how physics works.
I do, to an extent. A very, very low extent.
It's digiphysics.
That's actually correct, but I'm upset.
Did you notice that Beelzemon's stronger with the bike, apparently?
I have noticed that. That would make sense.
I guess because he's got guns and he's on a bike
He's
and he moves
powered
faster.
by curses. Because the bike's not a Digimon.
No.
It's just a curse, right?
That he's able to tame.
He's tamed a curse.
But it may or may not be sentient, right?
I think it is.
Kenta and Kazu were worried Ducato fell down the chasm, and Renamon is sad that she couldn't protect Ruki, and then Ruki says it's fine, and that she wants to take care of Renamon for once. In the dub, Rika says that Renamon's only job now is to rest. And it's just such a sweet little character moment, because, I know, I like when they care about each other, because at the start, Ruki didn't really seem to care about Renamon if she got hurt during battle, because she was just data.
We see a huge difference between Ruki now and how she started.
Yeah.
Her attitude towards everyone else, and especially towards Digimon in general, is way, way, way different than she began.
But it wasn't like a snap change, like, oh, I'm good now.
No,
it
she
was
went through
very
stages.
gradual, yeah. Because when she first started liking Renamon, she still fought with her, like, being worried about, like, her being a friend or not. And she had that episode a few episodes later about how she was kind of still not sure if they were data or not, and then she realised they were data, and she realised that she was actually her friend.
There was the episode where Renamon became her friend, and then there was the episode where she became Renamon's friend. And we were like, if they repeated everything. No, it's a subtle difference.
But then still, she didn't warm up into the human people until quite recently, I'd say.
Except for Kenta and Kazu. She still hates them.
Yeah, but it's more like...
Good,
they are,
so do I.
They are in the way, though, sort of.
I'm beginning to feel increasingly sorry for Kenta. I think he might never get a Digimon. We're fighting God, and he doesn't have one. What's he doing here?
I like Gaudromon.
I only like Gaudromon for the 2 lines in English. That's all. He's still useless. He's still pointless. But in English, he says 2 cool lines.
Juri is crouched overlooking her Digivice and wonders if this is her fate. In the dub, Jerry's blaming herself for not being strong enough. And I notice she talks a lot more in the dub. Like, in the original...
Doesn't everyone always?
Yeah, I'm just saying, in the original, she's so much more listless and... I don't know, blank? Is that the word? She's just so...
Sad. The word is sad.
But she's still sad. She's sad in both versions. But in English, she just talks a lot more, and it makes her seem, I don't know, less sad, I guess? Less depressed. Like, she's still sad, but she's super depressed in the original. It's actually kind of sad to watch. Shuchon is starting to fall, and then they rescue her. It's kind of a cute moment. I don't know, I really like it when all the buns are there.
Yeah, and just Dukemon's getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
A whole bunch during this.
Yeah, and I have in my notes, by the way, there's a battle going on at the moment, because I didn't really write every little thing that happened in the battle, because, I mean, it was a good battle.
I did write when he royal sabered the bike.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the problem with this battle. And the problem with this battle is the problem with this battle is exactly why Applemon has actually been pretty good. Is what happened in this battle. Oh, they hit each other really hard. And then one of them hit the other guy really hard. And then the other guy hit him really hard. And then sometimes they'd use the same attack. And the other guy would be like, that doesn't hurt at all. And then sometimes they'd use the same attack. And they'd be like, I'm gonna die.
And sometimes they'll move out of the way, or it misses.
Or it'll just ping off them. The worst version of this, I'll probably talk about it again later, is there's a moment where Beelzemon has Dukemon supposedly beaten. He's got his gun up on Dukemon's forehead, and he's like, "Haha, you are defeated." And Dukemon's like, "Oh no, I guess I'm dead." Right? That's his position at that time. Okay, 2 minutes later, Dukemon has escaped for whatever reason, and Beelzemon is shooting at him, and all of the bullets are hitting Dukemon, and he's totally fine.
Yeah, and he should basically be
Because
dead.
apparently, if you get hit from a bullet from 10 meters away, that takes away all the power of it. There is no force anymore behind it. If you got point blank, he'd be dead. But from 10 meters away, you're basically flicking him softly.
And considering how much damage he was able to do to the Kurisarimon and Infamon, Like, he should be able to dent him from that
He
distance.
exploded them when they were near his bullets.
Yeah, like, they sort of brushed past them and explosion happened. Anyway, we see that the Phoenix God is talking to Gaudromon about punishing the one who betrayed them. So, I wasn't quite sure they were talking about Bielsamon or Lopmon, but in the dub they make it clear that they're talking about Lopmon. Then Gaudromon appears, where Shuchon and Lopmon are, and he says that he's going to defeat both of them, and Shuchon hugs Lopmon, and Lopmon says, "You must release me." And I just really like how polite Lopmon is.
You must release me. I must go into combat now. But also, the Dogmon turns into a hammer.
Does he? I thought he just threw it.
No, he becomes the
I
hammer.
I missed that. Oh, that's awkward.
It's the weirdest thing. He jumps and then becomes a hammer, and then Terriermon jumps in the way and he gets bopped.
Yeah, he bopped super hard.
No, not bopped that hard. He kind of gets
He gets knocked.
It's really weird, and then he falls down a cliff because there's so many cliffs and everyone's falling down them. It's kind of the fashionable thing you see.
Yeah, and then Renamon saves Shuchon and Lopmon, and I really like the bunny.
And then, Dukemon sort of just shows up and instantly Royal Sabers the Dogmon to death. It's weird, right? Because Dukemon shows up and he just evolved, right? Mm-hmm. And he goes into a fight with somebody and then he's pretty evenly matched. In fact, he's often losing. Mm-hmm. So you're like, oh, he's not that impressive, is he? And then he goes up against this dog who's looked impressive before and instantly kills him. And that gives you this, oh, he's really strong.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way round to get an emotional reaction out of your audience. If you had him kill the Dogmon first, and you're like, oh my god, he's so strong, then you have him fight Bielsamon and it's evenly matched, you get a sense of how good Bielsamon is.
Yeah, no, that's
But this
the point.
way round, Dogmon looks like crap.
Yeah, and we know that he's not. He's a perfect level Digimon, and he's a Deva who were created by the gods. So we know that they're strong, but because of the way that they've framed this, I completely agree with you. If this was before the big fight with Bielsamon, like if Bielsamon, ran away at the end of the last episode because he's a bad guy, and that's apparently what they do. However, when Dukemon shows up just before he defeats Gaudromon, he says that not even the Deva are worthy foes of Dukemon, and I just feel like saying, but clearly Bielsamon is a worthy foe because you're not doing much damage. And
Is he technically a Deva?
Who? Gaudromon?
No, Bielsamon.
No, he's using the god's power. He's not a Deva.
Oh, so the Devas aren't worthy, clearly.
No, the Devas aren't. Well, I don't know. The way that Dukemon said it was kind of like, no one's worthy of fighting me. And like, but fighting someone who you're not doing particularly stellar against.
Why would you have a lance if no one was worthy to fight you? You shouldn't be prepared to fight then.
Why would you have a
worthy.
saber? In the dub, Galantmon mentions how Gaudromon can beat a rookie but won't be able to beat him, which I know makes more sense because he did beat Terriermon.
I kind of love that Lopmon is a Deva, technically. Like, I am understanding that Terriermon would be a Deva because it's big, but even when, they're tiny, they're still technically a Deva.
Yeah.
Like, if you develop one all the way to a baby, right? You, made it into an egg, like an adventure, then it popped out, you're like, who's a little Deva? Who's a little Deva?
So, yeah, welcome to the end of the Devas arc because they're all dead now.
Finally.
Except for Lopmon, obviously.
And the god. So the
But
arc's
the
not really over.
the Deva are dead.
Yeah, but God, were they boring?
Well, the gods
that only
are over
lasted
here.
30 episodes.
Oh, I have a feeling, yeah, it was probably about that much, yeah.
Okay, we're at episode 36 now.
Yeah.
When do they start coming in? Episode 10?
I felt like episode 10. You're right, no.
So 25 episodes of them?
That is a long arc.
That's a really long, boring arc.
I think Ken's arc was 20-something, maybe?
Yeah, and Ken's arc was much more interesting.
Yeah. Well, Ken was in 02.
I know. Isn't it weird? Well, Ken was more interesting.
Yeah. Ken was the best character of 02. We spent a lot of time talking about 02 in this Tamers podcast.
Because it's really easy to compare the new thing with the old thing.
Yeah. Jen tells Shuchon to let go of Lopmon because he's a Deva, and Shuchon says that she can't because they're her partner.
Did Jen not know that?
No, Jen knew it, but Jen's just...
He looks genuinely surprised to see the Digivice. Like, what is that?
No, I think it's because he forgot about it or wasn't thinking about
stupid.
that. And now feels like that he was being selfish.
That's a big moment.
In the original, Jen is upset with himself, and that's why he looks that way when he looks at the Digivice. Because he was forcing his sister to part with her partner. And
he doesn't learn from this.
Yeah. In the dub, Henry is frustrated because he shouldn't be having this discussion because she shouldn't be here. So he just seems like a lot less reasonable. Like, instead of saying, oh, what have I done? He's like, oh, well, I shouldn't be discussing this anyway.
So Renamon saves Terriermon from the crevasse, which is cute. And then I think one of my favorite bits of the episode is Beelzemon shows up with Kenta and Kazu are, and Gaudromon goes, "Don't worry, Kazu, I'll save you!" And Beelzemon kicks him away like he's a piece of paper.
Yep.
Like, Gaudromon is there on the screen, and then he just, like, whips off the frame. It's, like, it's almost comical. It seems like it might be meant to be a joke.
Yeah, but it also shows that Beelzemon is strong.
I mean, he is, but we already knew that. So, instead, it kind of just looks like... If you had the music stop, and instead you had, like, a canned audience laughter, and a ba-doom-tss, like, I would have actually laughed quite hard.
Then there's like this sweet moment between Kazu and Gaudromon. I mean, you might disagree with me here, but Gaudromon is just thinking about how he doesn't want Gaudromon to die like Leomon. In the dub, Kazu worries that he's being a wuss and how he'd never forgive himself if he lost Gaudromon. And I just feel like this is really sweet, considering how this is sort of against what we've seen from his character so far, and it's nice to see him care about something. It gives him emotion and depth, and I really like it. What do you think?
I mean, it's the writers being like, okay, we need to give him a character moment. What does he have? Well, there was that one time we saw him look after Andromon, so I guess we've got that, right? Which tells me that there is nothing else to this kid's character. They have nothing else to give him.
Poor Kazu.
So they can only go on the tiniest bit of history that everyone else was helping with too. He just happened to be there.
Did I ever tell you this really cute moment that I read in Kanaka's notes?
No, you did not tell me.
It was when Kazu and Takada were fighting, because Takada says, "I have a Digimon," and Takada's like, and Kazu's like, "No, you don't." And Kazu's voice actress was so emotional. Kanaka actually had to say, "Look, you get your friends again. You make friends again," just so she could do the line because she was so emotionally involved in the characters.
What?
Yeah, isn't that sweet? I found it sweet.
It sounds like the ramblings of a crazy person.
Well, I thought it was sweet.
And then he said he had a Digimon, but I said he didn't. It's so sad. It's not sad. Sad things aren't like that. Sad things give you that hole in your chest that doesn't feel like it will go away.
That Leomon dies.
That's his stomach, actually.
Yeah, should be his heart. Kenta's about to be attacked, and Dukemon protects Kenta, and then Kenta thinks about Takado.
Well, no, he has like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Which somehow he knows is Takado. Because he's very, very well aware. He's knowledgeable of Takado's heartbeat and exactly what it sounds like.
And in the dub, Kenta says that it sounded like Takado because it does sound like Takado in the English version, so I'll give them that. Gaudromon helps Kazu and Kenta get away, and Kenta tells them that Dukemon is Takado because of a feeling that he had.
And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, but it's a feeling, though.
Kazu says that he feels useless since Takado is actually fighting now, and I think this line is cut in the dub because I was looking for what they were changing to, because like whenever someone says something meaningful, sometimes like they're probably going to change this, but they cut the shot. And then the following part, which is Beelzemon aiming his gun at Dukemon and Takado screaming and the others hearing, this part is also cut.
Why has Takado got to be naked? Wouldn't he evolve with his clothes?
It's like magical girls.
But magical girls get new clothes.
Yeah, but when they're transforming, they don't.
Yeah, but then they have clothes at the end.
Yeah, but he's like a mech pilot now.
No, he's not.
He's a Digimech pilot.
He's not, though. He has very little input as far as I can tell.
Gaudromon then fires missiles at Beelzemon to distract him, which I really like. This is
the first time Gaudromon has done anything, and it could have been anyone. Because here's the thing, right? Beelzemon could kill Leomon and has been giving Dukemon, an ultimate level, a run for his money, right? Mm-hmm. Has taken hits and stuff and been totally fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, what level is Gaudromon?
Adult.
Gaudromon's an adult, firing an adult level attack at Beelzemon.
It would distract him.
No, he wouldn't even notice it. He would.
It's like if you threw paper at someone, like a little ball of paper at someone, that would distract them.
Also, if he was going to kill Dukemon, wouldn't he have... Because he wouldn't have just, like, pulled the trigger then turned to deal with Gaudromon?
I just feel like he got too distracted with it. It's just... He doesn't want to hurt him or anything, he just wanted to distract him, which works, and I think this is fine.
I think what needed was, like, a moment where it was clear that Beelzemon was distracted. Not like oh, what was that? Oh, it's irritating. I think you could have done a really good moment where he turns, looks at Gaudromon and goes, really? You think you can hurt me? Like, be really arrogant and, like, get really into, like, oh, I'm so powerful.
And then Dukemon hits him.
No, like, yeah.
No, I see what you're saying, but I'm also saying that you would have complained if Gaudromon just stood there. So at least he's doing something. They're not just being side characters; they're actually being active. And
Yeah, I said this is the first time he's done anything,
but
which is fine.
It's also Kazu stepping up, and it's he's making Gaudromon do this.
I
Because
maintain that he's unnecessary.
I know, but he doesn't want to feel useless, and it's making him being used as a character. And otherwise, he'd just be standing there doing nothing like everyone else.
True. All I'm saying is that if they weren't there, Rookie could have done it.
Kenta's still useless.
Oh my god. It's actually beginning to get quite sad. I'm noting it down that he must feel like he's putting everyone in danger.
I mean, he did tell them that he thought it was Staccato, but I'm pretty sure anyone could have done that.
And it didn't matter. That information is irrelevant, right? He must feel like crap. I hope he's the bad guy. He's the new Digimon Emperor.
Yeah. Staccato speaks and thanks Kazu. Dukemon fires his shield at Beelzemon, and Beelzemon tells him to just go ahead and defeat him and load him. Then Staccato says he'll never forgive him for killing Leomon. Juri screams and Dukemon stops. Juri doesn't want anyone else to die. In the dub, she actually makes a noise when she screams. In the original, it's just like dramatic music, and we see like Juri's face move, like she's screaming, but we don't actually hear her scream. And it's like an atmospheric thing. In the dub, we hear her scream.
Her line is something like, I don't want to feel sadness again. Vengeance isn't worth it.
Yeah. Well, but it's also, she says that how if we kill Beelzemon now, that wouldn't bring Leomon back.
I mean, that's true, but also... Okay, here's the problem, right? They're not in this fight because of Leomon. They were in this fight before Leomon, and Leomon just happened to be a casualty during it, right? You don't... If you're in a war, right, and then a person dies, you didn't go into war for them. They happened to die during it. There was other reasons, which just makes this entire next bit really confusing. So,
hang on, I'll just say what she said in the dub just before you get ahead. So in the dub, she adds that she hates him and how she'll never forgive him, but she just doesn't want anybody else to be hurt because of her. So she's blaming herself for the death, and she says any deaths are now her fault, basically.
Is it possible that if they let Beelzemon go, this edgelord go, that he will come back and, I don't know, kill again?
Well, those were my thoughts.
Have we talked about how Beelzemon's just Reaper from Overwatch?
I think you mentioned it a few
Because he's
episodes
exactly
ago.
Reaper
Because I
from
said he was an
Overwatch.
edgelord.
Oh my god, is he just Reaper from Overwatch or what?
But yeah, so if he walks away and, regains his strength and comes back when they're least expecting it, he could probably kill all the Digimon except maybe Dukemon.
Well, you mentioned that full strength bit, right? This is the second time this has happened in Digimon, and it really bothers me. It's okay. You got to the end of the fight with the bad guy, right? And you beat the bad guy, but you spared him, okay?
The bad guy won, basically.
The bad guy didn't stop being a bad guy. And then the super powerful Digimon that beat the bad guy de-evolves, right? This happened with Black Wargreymon. He fights Wargreymon and Imperial Dramon, and at the end of the day, he says he was defeated, but he's still he's still ultimate level, and there's 3 babies next to him.
Yeah, he didn't become Itmon again. No, that's a very good point.
Beelzemon's looking at Guilmon and a child, and who got his clothes back, miraculously.
Yeah. He could shoot these children.
If he just killed them all right now, nobody could stop him.
Yeah, because Terriermon's weakened. I think Renamon's also weakened from
What's
the fight.
Itmon got? An honor system?
No, he doesn't care.
If
I was Beelzemon, I would kill these children.
He actually just was like, well, guess I'm done.
Guess the plot's telling me to stop now.
He says in English the words like, I am nothing now. But he could just win.
Well, it's after he gets some flashbacks.
A lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes of flashback.
It's a third of the episode or whatever.
Talking about this episode is making me like it less. I was like, oh, this is a fine episode. I'm fine with it. I'm actually liking it less when I remember there were 5 minutes of flashbacks.
Watching this twice was painful.
Which, by the way, in the original weren't fully voiced. It just sort of had Itmon with Itmon's voice talking through them. In the dub, the flashbacks are fully voiced. Like what they said in the flashbacks is being played. And Beelzemon is narrating them.
Oh, I totally forgot. There's a really funny bit, actually, when Dukemon's about to kill Beelzemon and then doesn't. Because it goes like this, right? He says, I have no choice but to destroy you. But then a little girl cries and he goes, well, guess I had a choice.
Yep, well, that's my choice then.
But he had no choice but a little girl was upset, so he didn't do it.
Yeah, a little girl told him not to, and then he did, I guess.
I feel like they should have one of these at every, like, execution in America. Mm-hmm. Like, they're about to kill the guy, and then a little girl's like, but I don't want you to. And then they're all like, and then the government is like, well, guess we can't do that.
No. And then we see our favourite characters, Rio and Cyberdramon, and they're somewhere. And Cyberdramon comments about how the most powerful enemy is ahead.
Did you forget the best line in this entire episode?
What was it?
Guilmon is standing up next to Carter and he goes, my me is happy to see you me again.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I missed that.
It's so adorable.
I love Guilmon so much. And anyway, so with Rio and Cyberdramon, Rio says in the dub that apparently it's not like Cyberdramon to recklessly want to meet an opponent, and I'm pretty sure that's
his entire character.
That's basically his character, how he's always looking for someone to fight, and he's like the ultimate enemy. And like, isn't that what you're kind of looking for at the moment, buddy? I don't know.
Carter got a new Digivice.
Oh yeah, I forgot that, yeah. So
it was exactly what I said. It was the same Digivice but slightly prettier.
Do you remember that time in my cupboard where we were looking at my Digimon collection and you said, whose Digivice is that? And I said, don't worry, it's not important.
Yeah, that happens all the time, though.
Yeah, and it was the golden D-Arc. Yeah, do you remember that?
Oh, also, when we were doing Immon's flashbacks, I noticed something really interesting.
What up?
Is it possible that Immon's story is basically the story of a lonely goth kid who goes crazy on steroids?
Basically, yeah, maybe.
So he was alone, and he didn't have any friends, right? Mm-hmm. And to make himself feel better, he wanted to be strong. So he basically went and grabbed a bunch of steroids, i.e. getting power the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But then he actually did have support networks, so he had to realize that he wasn't so lonely to get off the steroids. But now he's still big and buff, because that doesn't go away. Basically what I'm saying is that winners don't do digi-drugs.
What do you think of this episode as someone who is new to Digimon?
This episode sucked. This episode was a glorified single huge fight that was super boring. Because you can't do this thing where you throw the same attacks at each other, and when they hit, they do different amounts of damage. Digimon got hit 3 times, or like 3 times that I can remember, 3 instances I remember, where he got hit with the guns, and they had very, very distinct effects. He went from, this almost killed me, to this did a lot of damage, to that does nothing at all. You can't do that. How am I meant to know how strong Beelzemon is when you react differently to the same thing? Beelzemon at one point is so fast Digimon can't even see him, and at other times is so much less powerful that he can get murdered in one hit. It's ridiculous.
But he's also stronger with the bike.
That's sure, why not? But the bike's not very strong.
That's probably the most consistent thing, that when he got on the bike, he was faster.
Yeah, most people are. Yeah. I would be.
I know, that's why I said it.
Okay, I'd be faster for a short amount of time. Then a wall amount of time later, I wouldn't be very fast anymore.
What would you rate this episode?
This is like a 6. Like,
that's not terrible though.
Look, it was boring, but it wasn't bad. It was just boring, right? It did what it needed to do in twice as much time as it needed.
I rated this episode a 7, but after talking about it, I think I will downgrade it to a 6 because, yeah, you're right. I mean, I felt like I was really enjoying this episode, but now when I think about it, a lot of it was just fighting, and it was easy to take notes in this episode because there were breaks between the actual character moments because it was just fighting and hitting each other. And especially after seeing Applemon, where the fights are actually strategic and intelligent.
Where they have to make decisions.
Yeah, and guess what? Firing your mega super awesome powerful attack doesn't work because you actually have to plan when to fire your super mega awesome powerful attack.
You know what I forgot to mention is also really important?
What?
Is that the human partner actually has some input. That was something I was really happy about at the beginning of Tamers, where it felt like the human partner was doing something, swiping a specific card. But then it very quickly devolved into go faster, be more powerful, which is equivalent to I'm your friend, be gooder than you are. Because Digimon very much is. The Digimon fight, and the partner goes, I'm really your friend, though. Like, he's just flexing their friendship at the Digimon, and the Digimon's like, yeah, friendship! Whereas, beginning of Tamers was very like, I can't win this fight, and the kid's like, what about if you use this item I can give you? And they're like, oh my god, I can win now! And then halfway through Digimon Tamers it became, I can't win this fight, what if I make you stronger with this card that says strong plus? oh, I
Yeah.
can win now.
Except with the alias card, that was actually that's the most recent use.
Yeah,
of
which
an
was
actual card,
that's the best one thus
which
far.
is actually kind of dark when
Was-
you said what it might be. I still don't think that would be the case. I think
You
I
can
hope
see it. You
I
can
hope-
see it, and that's what the card does in the game.
he absorbs the copy though.
There's no reason for it to do that.
That's really sad. What did you think about this episode compared to your predictions in Obnoxious Synopsis?
I also just realized,
Yep.
may as well mention it, why didn't Beelzemon, if he was losing, go all crazy and have, like, the Talmon and Rapidmon bits come out and, like, be awesome?
Because that was just a gross moment in the fight, and now it's not relevant
He
anymore.
should have become super powerful with all, like, the Deva attacks.
But that was one episode
He
ago.
never used any Deva attacks ever again.
That was one episode ago. How are we supposed to remember any of that? That's why you don't see the crashes and cuts in Digimon's faces, because why? It's one episode ago. Too long ago now, we've forgotten.
Cameramon still has cracks in his lenses. Apimon's actually really good.
I'm amused with how unhappy you are about how good it is.
Is the dub of episode 5 out now? Can we just watch it now?
The fan sub, you mean?
That's what I meant.
Yeah. It probably is actually. We get to meet a new character.
I would rather watch that than continue this show, is what I'm trying
Wow,
to say.
really?
Oh my god.
You're gonna upset a lot of people by saying that. People love Tamers.
Look, Tamers is better than O2 by a long way, and better than Adventure in most ways. But it had a lot of strengths at the beginning that they discarded very quickly. And then there's this shock value thing in the middle, which did a lot of good, and then you immediately followed up with, like, exactly the reason Adventure got so boring. Alright, well,
So yeah, prediction
it
time?
might improve.
Hopefully.
So I said that Digimon and Beelzemon would fight, and then some tamers would try to speak to his heart, and he would at the end be, like, kinda convinced. And it sort of happened.
Yeah, but he's not like, wanting to be with their friend now. He's just kind of
No,
sad.
he's sad, but he'll be back. He'll be back like Blackwall Greymon. Once you go Blackwall Greymon, you never go Backwall Greymon. As far as things that would annoy me, though, I said if Kenta and Kazu were standing around being useless, and Kazu did exactly one thing, and that thing was reasonably useful.
And I like that. Kenta still Kenta did a thing, but
No, Kenta didn't do anything.
Kenta said it might be Takato.
Yeah, right before Gilman was like, "Hi, it's Takato."
Okay.
And I said it would be a good episode. It really wasn't. No, it wasn't. And I rated it way too high, and it wasn't filler, because of course it wasn't.
Is this the worst episode we've seen for a while? I feel like you've given quite a lot of sixes.
Dude, I don't remember.
Especially when they first got the digital world, I feel like you gave quite a few sixes.
Yeah,
You enjoyed the first bit when they were in the real world much more.
I wanted the digital world so bad because it would be like, oh, it's a different. But what I just wanted was the Deva arc to end. That's what I actually wanted.
But it didn't. They went to the digital world and the Deva arc continued. What was the main difference that you noticed?
That they called it a lance and not a saber.
You mean so they fixed it, basically?
Yes, they did. Also, for whatever reason, Digimon seems more passionate in Japanese. In the English, he's like, "I am justice. I'm going to get you." Right? That's kind of what he sounds like, even with the double voice.
I feel like it's because of the double voice, because they had to match up the two voices that sometimes it doesn't seem as caring and more monotone.
I don't know. I feel like that got me pretty bad.
See, the main difference but there weren't that many differences, because as I said, it's mostly fighting and not much else. So the main difference I'm thinking about is how while Jen is upset with himself for forcing his sister to part with her partner Digimon, in the dub, Henry is frustrated because she's in the digital world, and he doesn't want to have this discussion because he shouldn't have to have this discussion. But that's the main difference.
How dare you make me discuss things? Ugh.
Episode 37 starts with the gang being at Suzakumon's gate, which I don't know why I've written... because it's called Suzakumon. Yeah. Okay, I was like, but his name's not Suzakumon.
You kept saying in the last episode, I'm going to call him Suzakumon
Yeah, but
anyway.
now I know how to say his name.
You mean Phoenixmon?
It's Zuchaomon.
Phoenixmon.
There's already Phoenixmon. Pyramon evolves into
I
it.
don't care, this is Phoenixmon.
Though it's Phoenixmon in the dub. It's Hohomon in the original.
Okay, this is Phoenixmon in Japanese.
Okay. Well, what's it in English then?
Phoenixmon.
Oh, okay.
Like Marcus Fenix.
Okay, you got me there, buddy. Jen says they have to get Shuchon back to the real world as soon as possible. In the dub, Henry says that he just wanted to be a good Digimon tamer because he wanted to have fun, and now he doesn't know if they'll ever get back and that Susie's in danger. And I'm like, they kind of, in the dub, made this part less about him worried about Susie, and in the original it's all about Susie, and this part's just like, he's just worried about not getting home, and then, you know, Susie being in danger is just kind of like an additional bonus.
This is like the first time they've gone, we need to save Kulamon, then go home. Not just like, we need to go home right now.
Yeah, at least they're finally thinking about the other things that they have to do before going home.
Like, the reason they're here.
Yeah. Takado asks if Terriermon is okay, and
'Cause he looks
Terriermon,
really worried.
yeah, and Terriermon hesitates, but then says he is. In the dub, he doesn't seem to hesitate as much. It seems like a quicker and more positive reply rather than, yeah, don't worry, Momentai! And he's fine, but yeah, in the dub it's...
I actually felt that the voice acting did a good job there and was like, it felt forced, the Momentai bit, rather than just being like, yeah, it's totally cool. It was like, yeah, it's totally cool.
Well, it was forced in the original as well.
Yeah, but it's Japanese, so I can't really get
okay. No, that's fair.
the inflections so
He
well.
just didn't seem as confident. But no, that's fair. He didn't seem confident either, but I just feel like the original showed the hesitation more since there was a bit of silence. But again, silence, naughty, naughty, bad, bad. Takado tells Juri that they have to keep on so they don't lose anybody else because Juri is just sitting, like, away from the group staring at the D-Arc.
And she's like, you know, I used to think battles are fun, but now I don't. Like, this is weird for her.
Yeah.
She was the, she was the Terminator at the beginning of this show.
Juri?
No, Ruki.
I haven't mentioned what Ruki says yet.
Ruki's walking up talking to her.
Yeah, but you didn't say that. You just said she, and then...
Oh, well...
Yeah.
I also wrote Susie as Zusi a couple times,
Zusi.
just letting you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, Ruki shows up and tells her that she doesn't like fighting either, but some battles have to be fought.
There we go.
Which is nice, that's fine. But she does like fighting, but never mind. She's
Not
trying to make...
anymore, she doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's called character development.
I think she liked fighting until she realised that they were more than just data.
Hey, 02. Look at this. Who changed at the end besides Ken?
Tai.
Who changed at the end of 02? Davis was the same person. We got introduced to Yoli's problem and never resolved it.
We got introduced to Yoli's problem in the last episode. Iori had a problem.
What was it?
His dad was dead.
Oh, that didn't get solved either.
Aww. Something I noticed in this scene is that Terriermon and Lopmon's eyes are just completely out of it.
Okay, look, sometimes Terriermon has an expression, but Lopmon is just constantly staring forward, completely glassed over.
I think it might be because Lopmon has kind of less personality and less, emotion.
It's partly that.
Because she always speaks very calmly and very formally, and
But
Terriermon's just...
You can have serious eyes rather than blank eyes,
Yeah.
right? If your eyes are wide and staring forward, which is what this woman's doing, that's not serious.
Lopmon has seen some stuff.
It's completely traumatized looking.
Jen is telling Shuchon that she can't go with them. She's clinging to Jen, and then he just whacks her out of the way.
He backhands her.
Which is incredibly violent.
They do cut this out of the English. He still hits
her.
they cut the strike out.
Oh, yeah, they cut the strike out, but she's on the floor. Like,
It's more like
still
he
hits
pushed her.
Yeah. And in the original, when Susie starts crying, Jen says that it's her own fault for being annoying. So I'm like, whoa, that's abusive. And in the dub, it's him just being worried about how it's up to him to save everyone. And then the other characters are saying, what about us? Whether in the original they were just saying, well, that was a bit harsh.
So Lopmon's like, well, I'll go.
Yeah,
and
because she needs to go.
separate them. And she, depends on the language, bubbles them up to get them across the bridge.
In the dub, Lopmon says Momentai.
It's really cute.
It's so cute. And yeah, more bubble physics,
No,
I guess.
and then Terriermon's like, yo, that's my thing!
Yeah. But before this, Kazu says that Kenta, Gaudromon, and himself will look after Shuchon and Juri because they're guys, and they need to look after the girls because, I guess, patriarchy and stuff, I guess.
No, but they said that as like a fake made up excuse so that Jen would feel better.
Oh, really? I just took that as, like, that they wanted to protect them because they're...
No. It wasn't like, yo, we're the guys, we're gonna look after her. It was like, we'll look after her because, yeah, we're guys, of course.
Okay, I guess it also makes Jen a bit more relieved. Ruki calls them out on what I took as sexism, and Ruki says, wow, is that what you have to do to prove that you're guys? And then they tell her off. But in the dub, she just says, did you bozos just have a good idea?
Because if that was what they were doing, if they were trying to prove that they were strong or whatever, wouldn't they want to go with them to fight God?
Yep, okay, good point. Fighting God, that's pretty manly.
It's really sick.
When they're in the bubble, Jen says that there's no reason that Shuchon is there, and Lopmon suggests it's to meet her. In the dub, Henry says that Lopmon should have come to the real world then. And then both Jen and Henry in both versions are worried about the parents being worried about her, and also himself. And then Ruki says that she's also thinking about her parents and how they must be worrying. And then Takata says, don't worry, guys. I sent the messages and pretended to be you, and they're all fine. And Ruki gets so upset.
It's like, what do you mean you pretended to be me? He's like, I mean, it was just a this, and I only included 7 smiley faces.
Yeah, and, you know...
She gets really mad about that in English.
Yeah, and Ricky says, oh, thanks. And then she says, it's fine as long as you didn't put any hearts. And she did. He did. I know, I found this a really cute moment, because while she has changed in some ways, she hasn't in others. And it's sweet.
Do you remember that time she kicked the air for no reason?
Yeah, butt kick.
But then she thanks him, which is nice.
It's really sweet.
And Terriermon's ear fuzzes out.
Yeah, and Jen asks if he's okay, and then he says, Momentai. In the dub, he says some silly line about how his ears are popping, because of how fast they're going.
I don't get it, though.
And then there's, like, a view of his ears fading away. I'm like, oh, okay.
The fading away thing, last time we saw that was with Guilmon, and wasn't that, like, him partly going back to the digital world?
No, this is because he's dying. This is his... You know when Digimon die and they become data?
Yeah.
This is him dying.
Why would only part of his ear be dying?
It's just him fading away.
Their whole bodies go when they're gonna die.
Yeah, but this is less noticeable because the plot...
Okay, fine. Okay.
The gate opens and all the Digimon start freaking out. Renamon explains that it feels like an intense, uncontrollable rage.
Can we talk about the art for the castle?
What do you mean?
The, like, weird, almost Cthulhu art we've got going.
Oh, it's pretty
this
terrifying.
H.R. Geiger pink mass of, like, castle flesh. It's really weird.
I like it.
That's very cool. Really weird, though.
Well,
who built this?
I don't know, the gods, I guess. People doing it for the gods. IDK.
No, but there's 4 holy beasts, but only 1 god. That makes no sense.
No, they're gods. There are 4 gods.
I know, but...
They're the holy beasts. This is one of the holy beasts.
Phoenixmon describes himself as the sovereign of the digital world. You can't...
No, yeah, it's plural. Sovereign. There's, like, more than one sovereign.
Okay, but that's not how that
is
used.
They are the sovereign. They are the Digimon sovereign.
But
not
they're
sovereigns.
They're 4 dudes.
Yes, but they're all the gods. This is the first holy beast.
This is stupid. Go back and eat some Guilmon bread. The show will be so much better.
I want Guilmon bread now. Lopmon then asks his god to listen to what he has to say. When Phoenixmon shows up, Ruki's terrified and doesn't want the god to tell that she's scared. In the dub, she straight up admits to trembling. Then Zhu Chaomon says that, and he says in the dub he calls Calamon the catalyst, but in the original he calls him what he is. And because of my brain, I'll backpedal here for a second.
So what is he called?
So I have mentioned previously that Australia did not get after episode 30-something, so I didn't get these episodes. So my knowledge of the show until I actually fully watched Tamers a few years after the release was from online. So I read the synopsis online, and back then no one had fast internet, so I couldn't just download the episodes. And it wasn't so common to download episodes or watch them online. So I just had to read synopsises. Synopses. So I read those, and because I was a tiny child, I read as what Calamon is as a digital enchilada. And now, because I have always known him as the digital enchilada, I know that's not what he's called. He's called the something else that's not chilada.
What is he? I don't know.
It's the digital enchilada.
Is he the digital Enchiridion?
No, it's not that. It's enchilada, okay?
It's not the enchilada!
No, it's a digitally enchilada and it's delicious. Hey, it's just what I'm going to call it from now on.
It's not what he's called.
It is.
I don't know what he is.
It's the digital enchilada now. I've changed his canon name. He's the digital enchilada. But yeah, so he's called the Digital Enchilada.
He's the Kanatako. So they're standing in front of the Phoenixmon? Whatever you want to call it.
Shuchaomon?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it except for that. And Jen says that he has to do it now. Whereas in English he says, "You're not going to scare me off," because he's a manly man. And even gods don't scare him none. Nuh-uh. Except that, of course, he's going to stand by and let his Digimon do the fight, because that's what the kids always do. They're so brave.
Then Ruki and Takado touch his shoulders, and then says that it's not I, it's we. And then the three of them evolve their Digimon to perfect.
It's cool. And they do it all at the same time, because they don't want to waste time, and it's all simultaneous.
Yeah, because guess what? If you have these separately, they will take about 5 minutes to evolve.
I can't believe they didn't do it.
Well, they don't have time to do that.
You can tell by how no animation they have later.
Yeah. Jen noticed that Rapidmon is fading. Like, finally, he notices that his partner Digimon is fading away. Ruki tells Taomon to evolve to Ultimate, but Taomon says that she just wants to protect Ruki at the moment. In the dub, Taomon says that she has a handful making the shield.
Isn't it weird that they were able to evolve to Ultimate after Renmon was like, "He ate our ultimate energy"?
But you haven't seen her evolve to Ultimate.
So wait, no. Ultimate energy is in English, though.
You know, I'm talking about Ultimate, as in Mega.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that they can evolve to level 3 or whatever,
Yeah.
but they ate the level 3 energy in the fight with Beelzemon.
Yes.
They shouldn't be able to do this anymore.
I feel that's just like their clone, though. I don't feel like that was actually
It
their...
wasn't. Why would the cards make a clone of the super evolved
It
version?
wasn't a permanent thing.
But he did get the power.
Yeah.
Was the power not permanent?
No.
It's like if you make illusion food and you eat illusion food, it doesn't. And it would either.
No, but the idea of it will make you feel full, like in Devimon's mansion.
This is stupid.
We then see what Kazu and Kent are doing, and they're with Juri. And then Kazu tells Gaudromon to look after Genzel's sister. In the dub, there are some fantastic lines.
I haven't even started dating. I've got to deal with 2 sad girls.
Once you start dating, I'm sure you'll make many girls sad.
That is the best. This is my
the best.
this is my favorite C-3PO. He's so mean.
We see all the perfects fighting, and while I was watching this, I realised something. You know, what'd be really, really useful as the 3 perfects right now?
What?
Remember that time in the movie they used that big attack?
The triple attack?
That movie that happened before this, if it's canon?
No, I don't remember. No. Like the characters, I don't remember any of that.
I'm just saying, wouldn't that have been useful?
I didn't think of that at all.
Big burst attack that defeated the baddie, who was probably as powerful as a god.
But
He was a big, scary dude.
But they can't use that attack because they don't have the Digi-Egg of Destiny, you know.
But they didn't have the Digi of Destiny.
No one ever did.
No one ever did. Well, some bugger with Rapidmon did.
Look, Angemon has to come by and then say, "Look, I found these Digi-Eggs. These golden Digi-Eggs."
And then they evolve for
including
about 5
this
seconds.
one you already used and was gone.
It's not even 5 seconds. It's like it's 1 second. But we're done with that movie. Anyway.
We're done with all the movies.
No, we're not. We've still got lots of
We're
movies.
done with all the movies, especially X Evolution.
The next one we gotta watch is the one with the trains.
What?
The one with the trains. It's got
What?
trains in it.
Is it Lopmon? Wait, I made that up. Is that real?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called Locomon, like locomotion.
That's the joke!
Yeah. It's so bad even I could come up with it.
Rapidmon's guns dissolve, which is kind of hinting that, yeah, he's super dying. Because
Little bit.
part of him is dissolving.
Well, that said, Beelzemon could drop his guns and they were part of him.
Yeah. But also, does this mean that he'll never have his guns ever again because they are gone?
Nope.
Of course not.
He got scratched in the face that one time and it didn't last to the next episode.
It lasted to the next scene, though, so you have to appreciate
oh my
that.
god!
That's better than some scene.
Kameramon's lenses are still cracked. Though.
Yeah, but
I'm never letting this go. That stayed between episodes.
Applimon's good.
That stayed between like 4 episodes.
That wasn't 4 episodes, it's only been 4 episodes.
It happened on episode 2.
Yeah, and that was episode 4. So that's 2 episodes.
3.
Because
2, 3, 4.
yeah, but it happened at the end or the start of episode 3. So that's 2 episodes.
Nah, mate. Nah.
Yeah, it totally was. Anyway, so Zuchalmon gives Lopmon the chance to return since he is the last Dave that he has, so he'll spare him. Then Lopmon says that he already has somewhere to return to as somebody else is waiting for him. In the dub, he says he doesn't want to serve somebody who believes in violence, but doesn't mention returning to
That is the
Susie.
stupidest thing a Digimon could ever say.
Considering they're kind of beating up each other, yeah.
Yeah, considering it doesn't matter who they're with. The kids make them commit violence all the time.
Yeah. Shuchon's Digivice starts glowing and she sees Lopmon in trouble on her screen and it goes to static, so of course she's concerned.
Well, actually, if it goes to static, what was the last Digivice we saw with static on the screen?
Juries, yeah.
Wouldn't you be immediately like, oh, they're dead?
Yeah, so that's why she's so worried all of a sudden.
No, she's not like, oh my god, they're dead. It was like, okay, I gotta go help now.
I don't think she saw.
I mean, it's right there.
I don't think she saw it so much, and also she's
I don't
kind
know,
of young.
Jerry's been staring at it the whole time.
I know, but I feel like she's young and, doesn't pay attention to
And
that.
a bit stupid. So she climbs up onto a thing.
Yeah, she just climbs the wall.
The wall, I guess, yeah. And she's like, alright, here we go. And it just, like, lifts her off the ground and floats her forward.
Well, she screams for Lopmon, and then she just kind of flies off. I'm like, okay.
Now, is it hovering her, or is the Digivice flying and she's holding onto it?
I think the Digivice is flying and she's just holding onto it.
How strong is this 6-year-old
She's
that she can
swole.
hold her entire weight with one hand?
I think it's like the magic that's holding her as well.
That was the first
Yeah,
option.
yeah.
So it was option A.
If it's a Digivice that's floating and it's surrounded her
And
as
now,
well.
in the English, we get the best bit of the entire episode.
Yep.
Where'd Susie go?
She flew away.
She flew away? Are you kidding me? But how? You were supposed to be watching her.
I watched the whole thing.
I love him. He's a gift.
He's the
Gaudromon's the best character in the world. I love him.
like, I still think he's, like, useless, but he's been at least vaguely entertaining, which is more than I can say for Kenta. God.
Well, in the original, he still kind of said, oh, she flew away.
Yeah.
What you doing? I'm going to see Lopmon. Okay. Because, to be fair, Kazu said, watch her. And he's like, okay.
He's
I
like,
will."
prime directive, or hell, what?
Alright.
Actually, that should mean that when she flew away, he should have followed.
Yep.
He should have followed and be like,
No, I think Kazu's words were, stay here and watch her.
Oh! He could have had a couple lines about that, which would have been really funny. Like,
But I said...
so why aren't you watching it right now? You told me to stay here.
Yeah. No, I think that's funny because, you always hear about, you put a command into a computer and it takes the literal translation of that.
But that was like what in the fall. We just played through the fall the other day, and it's all about robots and like prime directives and about how far you can twist them. And this is not a situation in which that happened.
Yeah. Jen is worried that he didn't care about Terriermon because he was only concerned about Shuchon. And then Rapidmon de-evolves to Terriermon, and Jen's holding Terriermon in his arms. And Terriermon says that Jen always blames himself, and he says that he's not alone because he has friends over here, and he's trying to take on all these tasks when he's surrounded by people who will help him and they'll work together.
Is he always like that? I've never noticed that about Jen.
Well, in this episode he is.
Apparently.
In the dub, Terriermon says that Jen thinks that he's the centre of the universe all the time and to look around him because it's the same sort of meaning.
There's a difference between you take on too much responsibility.
You are a selfish prick.
And you only think about yourself, you ass.
Yeah, so it's said a bit nicer in the original, but I think he means to say it in the same way.
I
Then Shuchon arrives and nobody bats an eyelid because why not?
Well, look, magical younger girls than the rest of the crew
she's
are
kinda-
sort of a thing in this show.
She just lands like, friends, I have arrived.
And they're all like, sorry, I think you mean friends I have arrived.
No,
Digital Jesus is here again.
no, Princess Pretty Pants. Terriermon says that they should fight to get home. In the dub, he says that Jen told him that if they ever got separated, to meet back at his place. I'm like, okay, I guess. All right. That's a metaphor, I guess. Then Jen Matrix evolves.
Which is, they didn't mention Matrix Evolution last time this happened, did
Yeah, because it was more of a dramatic thing. This is like a
they? Convenient thing.
convenient thing, yeah.
This is actually what I was kind of concerned about, that they're basically doing the joint evolution
Yeah.
thing because they knew they could.
But they set the scale far too high with the first one. The first one was such a good episode.
The first one they justified enough with
Yeah.
the like, oh, I understand you now, and having flashbacks and stuff. And this one's more like Terriermon, especially in the English, is kind of just roasting him.
Yeah.
And
Just all the time.
I mean, like these. No, not usually. He does not insult him usually. But it's just like, these are the things that are wrong with you. And Jen's like, I'll work on it. And now they're in sync enough to do this.
What I'm really enjoying so far is, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but every Matrix evolution we've seen so far has a custom evolution. like custom intro to One Vision.
A little bit.
Like Jen has Takato has like this really dramatic one that kind of flows into music, and Jen has this like really cool like dun 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 dun.
I had to watch it again.
Oh, it's so cool.
I need to watch them next to each
and
other.
then it goes into One Vision, and everyone has their own intro, and I really like
I'm looking
it.
forward to Ruki's, and then no one else's, especially not Kazu's, because that's never, ever, ever happening.
I like Ruki. Ruki's my favorite.
It's not happening with Jerry either. For
Oh,
reasons.
owie. That hurts. That hurts my emotions.
Oh, good.
So you don't think anything's going to fuse with Jury?
That's a weird way to phrase that.
And I'm just saying.
I don't. I think that she's done.
So you don't think she gets another partner, I mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Partner got loaded. That's so weird.
Yeah, well, do you think Leomon's coming back now?
No.
No, okay.
What if Beelzebub was her partner? Because he has the essence of her partner
Oh, that's
inside.
really sad.
That'd be weird.
I think that'd really upset Jury. Callamon's still convincing himself that he's a Digimon in the dub because he's climbing
What's
up a
he
pipe.
doing?
He's climbing up the pipe, the
What
vial.
pipe?
The vial that he was in the last episode.
When did that happen?
Not last episode.
He
episode
couldn't
two.
get out last time, and now he can climb it?
Yeah, before he was trying to jump, and now he's trying to climb, I guess.
What?
I don't know, plot.
It's a glass jar.
Anyway, in the dub, instead of trying to reassure himself that he's a Digimon, Callamon's wondering how spiders do this all the time.
And he's also like, it's really dark and dirty here in this dirty darkness.
Also, I'm pretty sure I thought the Callamon could fly, but I guess I'm wrong.
I think he can glide.
Okay. I guess they need wind, maybe? I don't know.
We should talk about St.
Oh, we're
Gargamon
gonna-
because he's the one who blows up the place. He looks terrible. He looks
Yes.
like a cheap...
We'll talk about his design when we get to
he
designs.
looks like a cheap Megazord, but also... that he's animated so badly. I specifically got you
Yeah.
to sit down and watch it again as he just slides across the screen, and then he slides across the screen, and then he has one movement, and then he has a really awkward movement. Because his
Yeah.
joints are bad?
I feel that's also because, like, it kind of has a jetpack, so it kind of just flies that way.
Well, here's the weird thing, right? Rapidmon is like this futuristic kind of robot, and then you get up to St. Gargamon, and you're like, how did you downgrade your robot so much?
St. Gargamon is my least favourite design that we've seen so far.
It's so bad, and it's like especially bad because it's Terriermon.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on for now.
So yeah, they blow up the place. Zhuchamon survives because, of course, he's a phoenix and also a god. But I kind of like this little bit of flavour that he...
And he like came out of like a fire, dude, and
Yeah.
like, yo, he's a phoenix.
No, I really like the flavour that he's a phoenix and
The
comes
flavor
back.
of they cannot kill him, except they haven't even killed him once yet, so we don't really know.
No, but he's a phoenix. He rises from the ashes.
There were no ashes. It was a it was like a cliff.
It was the ashes of the palace.
Oh my god, it's symbolic, bro.
What do you think of this episode as someone who is new to Digimon?
It was, I don't know, pretty mediocre. This episode 2 was pretty underwhelming. I don't know, I just felt like the conflict of Jen and resolving with Terriermon wasn't very interesting. I thought the fight with Phoenixmon was pretty boring. I don't know, I don't feel like this was particularly great. It's just so much fighting in these 2 episodes, and it's just all really boring, just throwing shit at each other.
How would you rate this episode?
I don't know, it's like 7 at best.
I gave it a 6.5 because I
That's
feel
accurate,
like
give it that.
I feel like it's not better than the last episode. Oh, more stuff happens, but I feel like I enjoyed it probably around the same amount ish. I feel like a 7 might be
Too generous.
maybe a 6.75. I don't know.
You're doing the thing now. Oh yeah, that's maybe
Because-
6.791.
No, but 6.75, that's between 6.5 and 7, because I don't feel like it's a 7, but at the same time, maybe it's better than the 6.5. I don't know. This is a hard one to... Both these episodes are hard to rate, because, I don't know, I feel like I've been enjoying them less, but I've been pretty much consistently giving 7s. So I'm just like, no, but those episodes that I gave 7s are much better.
Take off 0.1 on every episode as you go along. That will show your distaste.
Yeah. How did it compare to what you thought it was going to be in Obnoxious Synopsis?
I said that we'd see the big phoenix, and that totally happened, and then he'd kill pretty much everyone until Terriermon fuses up near the end of the episode.
Which is accurate.
Yep. Now, I did not predict so much that that it would do a good job fighting, but it was right at the end of the episode, so there we go. As far as what would annoy me, I thought, if the reason for fusion is basically, okay, we can fuse, we know that, and that they did vaguely justify it with Jen is worried and Terriermon made him feel a bit better, but that's not enough. If that was enough, because you can evolve this way from baby, you do not have to get them to perfect first, right? then he should have been able to do this from the beginning, because he always had the strongest connection with his Digimon.
Yeah.
He never had to work on it like the other two did, because they were always pretty in sync.
Well, maybe
that way.
that's why it seemed so easy in this episode. That they just sort of
No,
said, okay.
he should have been able to do this 20 episodes ago.
So you feel like they should have been able to do this as soon as they got to perfect or beforehand?
No, I think he should have been able to do this really early, and like everyone's like, "What the hell was that?" And he goes, "I don't know." And then you have to think about that for 10 more
But
episodes.
he could kill all the Davas so easy.
No, but you do it like once, right, for a short period of
The
time.
Dava arc would have lasted about 3 episodes, only because, and it would have lasted that long only because he would have to go through and find them all.
I think if this has happened once at like episode 10, and then they just not done it for a while and let me complain about it up until Takado was the next one to do it, I'd be like, oh, I mean, there's potential for interesting storytelling there. Whereas in this case, it was like, well, Takado just did it, so here we go. I don't know, it sucked. Would it be a good episode? No. What rating? It is not an 8.501. It is not that.
It's
it
a
is
6.501.
6.501. And it was not filler. Of course it wasn't. That's accurate.
What was the main difference that you noticed?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I guess right now C-3PO being weird. Oh, I know this is dumb,
Yep,
but
probably.
Phoenixmon calls them maggots. How does Phoenixmon know what a maggot is?
Is this in the dub?
Yes.
Okay, plot. Okay, I'm gonna explain this. So, phoenixes are birds.
Yes.
And birds eat insects.
Yes.
And maggots are insects. So
But they don't
because
exist in the digital
it's
world.
part of his bird feed. Maggotmon.
Also, no, but Digimon don't eat specific things.
Also, we don't know that maggots don't exist in this world. Fish do. Fish that aren't Fishmon.
No, not in Tamers.
We don't know that.
Well, not... Yeah, we don't know. You're right. You can't know that they're a fish here.
I'm just going to say that it's because even though he's a god, he eats maggots. So he's calling them his food, basically.
But he eats other Digimon. They all do.
The difference that I noticed was Gaudromon has increased sass, and I love him.
That was my primary one. And also just Phoenixmon being like, Phoenix Fire! Phoenix Fire!
Oh, that was so
Phoenix
annoying.
Fire! Phoenix Fire!
And also, Jen seems, I don't know, like, more preoccupied with everything besides just his sister, which is like, but you've been in the digital world for the whole time, like, why wouldn't you be stressed about this? It makes more sense that he's more stressed because of his sister rather than stressed because of everything.
I forgot you messed up Gaudromon's line. It's actually way funnier than, instead of, I'm going to go get Lopmon now, it's, he goes, are you sure that's safe? And she goes, no! And he goes, okay!
Because he was told to watch her.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether it's safe or not.
wasn't
He
told
just
to-
wanted to know.
He wasn't told to follow her, he wasn't told to, keep her here. He was told to stay here and watch. And that's what he
She
did.
flew away. You were meant to be watching her. I did.
I watched
the whole thing.
I love him so much. I don't have a discussion point for these episodes. Do you have a discussion point for these episodes? Usually I come up with something that's really easy to discuss, like, I don't know, death or something. But now it's just kind of like, Oh, I know. Is Susie a burden? I don't know. That's the best I could think of. Did you have any?
She hasn't done anything wrong yet.
Do you have any discussion points?
I wish this was more like Applemon, honestly. Isn't that weird?
Do you want to write your 8-page thesis on why Applemon's better?
It takes like 2 sentences, and it's because their combat is interesting and unique to the individuals,
And strategy and tactics.
and also the kid is super important to every fight.
Yeah. Applemon's good.
It's surprising.
If you
because-
haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend watching it. Even just watching it in Japanese, it's quite good.
How about I rephrase this? It is depressingly good.
Yeah, you were so upset that you liked it in the first episode. You're like, I can't make fun of this. There are dumb parts, but it's dumb in a way that it's a child show.
It's dumb in a way that I'm enjoying.
Yeah, it's dumb that, could you see yourself super loving it if you were, 8?
Yes.
I can.
Yes, I could.
I can totally. You know what? I love it now.
I liked a lot of crap when I was 8. I liked Yu-Gi-Oh back then. I
Oof.
still kind of love that.
Well, Haru does look like a Yu-Gi-Oh character. He's got green hair.
There are a couple with green hair. No one has hair that green.
This week, Jay tried to steal my screenshot of the week, but I didn't let him. It's the shot of Terriermon and Lopmon's eyes, and they're just not there.
So my original one was going to be around that moment. I think it was very, very similar time, but it was more, there's a very particular moment where Susie is crying and Lopmon's just standing there staring at her. But it's so similar. I think yours was the same because Terriermon's in the background.
Yeah.
So I changed mine to Susie is hugging Lopmon and looking really sad, and it's a close-up on both of them, and instead of being blank, Lopmon has this look of yikes, awkward, don't want to be here anymore.
And what about the Digimon designs that were introduced these episodes? So, Juchaomon we finally see for the first time.
It was a big red bird, I guess.
Yep.
We saw mostly its face.
Yep.
And it was fine. It's actually really not special. Like, when you saw Azulongmon for the first time, you're like, yo, that's weird. And it was really striking. There's a lot to it. Phoenix was like, oh, that sure is a bird.
Yep. And what about Saint Galgomon or Mega Galgomon?
It's crap. It is garbage. It looks like a reject Power Rangers Megazord, I think I mentioned before. And just like, it's completely expressionless. And you can see in its animation, its movement's restricted. Like, when it does a kick, its whole leg just does this, like, really tight, sad movement. And what that said, it's so strange because, like, Terriermon to Gargomon is this amazing evolution of, like, perfect design, of just unleashing this, like, inner psycho, and then the next evolution up to Rapidmon is like, oh, this is not great, because you take away all the facial expression, but he still got to be him, like, the personality and stuff.
I like Rapidmon. He's very fast.
But, like, you still have the personality, and that's fine, right? And you can move around really fast. And the next evolution after that is no personality, no facial expression, completely slow. What's happening? Why?
Well, the dub is happy that his mouth doesn't move, because then they can make him say dumb things.
Oh my god, they love that. I wonder if there's, like, a time when, like, because the English writers probably just were doing things week to week or whatever, and they get informed, hey guys, there's a new Digimon, and his mouth doesn't move, and they'll just pop him bottles of champagne. Yeah, we can say whatever we want.
They must have had a field day when they realised that Gaudromon didn't have a mouth. So like we have someone we can just make fill all the silences and just say funny things. But to be fair, I love him, so I don't care.
Oh god, I love Terriermon, but I hate St. Gargomon. He looks crap.
Yeah.
And he also...
I agree with you there.
He also kind of ruins my old theory of anyone with, like, a religious name has the big cross on their face.
Yeah, no, but he's looks like a dog for some reason to me.
Yeah, he looks like a toy that you would hold. And, like, there's no life to it at all.
I like the fact he looked like a dog, but that's about it.
Yeah.
He's got a puppy face.
Like, a little bit.
His face now looks more like a dog than like a bunny.
Yeah, but he's meant to be a bunny, basically.
But he's meant to be a dog, because terrier
He's
is a
got
dog.
huge ears.
Postmon Pat this week. First of all, we have a Gmail from Kylone, and they say Beelzemon bullets are 65% more bullet per bullet, so that's why they're effective.
I feel like that's from something that sounds really familiar.
I think it's from the Heavy from TF2, maybe?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like it is, but...
I know that speech really well. Well, I used to know that speech really well. I feel like...
It is 65% more bullet than bullet.
No, that's not right. That's not right
I think that was the line.
No, it fires 200 bullets per minute, and it costs $200,000 to fire this gun for 60 seconds. Like, there's that sort of thing, but he doesn't say...
But yeah, it is more efficient because it's got the casing, so it's more bullet. So it's...
That's fair enough.
Kylone then says that they love Gilmon and Dukemon's Japanese voice. It's the same voice actress as Goku in Dragon Ball.
Which is the same as Gilmon normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old lady voice. I never knew that. I knew they were both voiced by old ladies, but I never connected the dots that they were the same old lady.
Really talented old lady.
So,
they do a good job of sounding like a dinosaur.
Well done. I like that voice actress too. I did not even realise it was the same one. So thanks for that information. Kylone then says that they're amused about the double voice in English because it causes a bit of a plot hole in this episode when they're talking at the same time, and everyone's like, "Oh, where's Staccato?" Yeah. Right. But I'm assuming that's what they mean.
Sort of. I mean, like, if you can say that there's a dinosaur voice laid over it.
Yeah.
So if you were listening to, I don't know, someone you know pretty well speak with a dinosaur over them, maybe you wouldn't recognize them.
I feel like you would.
I don't know if a dinosaur spoke over you.
The next email is from Frost Miragic, and she says, "Love the concept of biomerging as a kid, and
it's lame now."
Yeah, and she says that she has a huge thing for knights and medieval things, so she loves Dukemon. But she can understand why somebody would think it's stupid, but it kind of is, but she doesn't care. She then says that Staccato being mad came out of nowhere and was against his character, but Frost Miragic then says that she hasn't seen the Japanese version yet, so it may be more realistic there.
I think they built it up a little bit better in Japanese.
In English it was like he was making commands instead of like gradually getting angrier, but in Japanese it was gradually getting more and more like full of rage Frostmoragic thinks that Megaudromon being so similar to Guilmon actually does make it scarier, because if it was an obvious change of, completely it's just bones, then that would be an obvious change. But
So
this
you're
one
saying
is...
that Skullgreymon wasn't scary? Skullgreymon was awesome, by the
Yeah,
way.
but no, I see what they're saying here, because it does seem like a possible evolution, and part of me kind of wishes, why can't this be his true ultimate form, and we deal with the fact that Guilmon is a virus-level Digimon, so of course he's going to have something that looks evil, right?
That makes sense, I think.
Imagine if he got to have both. He got to have the Dukemon, which was the bi-merging, but Guilmon has a special, other evolution.
Yeah, if this is the legit evolution,
Yeah.
you just don't want to get to it.
Yeah, and it's really powerful. But maybe, then they could do, a story arc of, getting to control this.
You mean he gets to be Rio?
No.
It's the same story.
No, Megaudromon's better.
He's just Cyberdramon. It's the same thing.
Then she says that she felt nothing about Leomon in Adventure dying, but Tamer's Leomon was a partner. Leomon was seen as a protector of Juri, and Juri seems to have something else going on. They did, however, need to develop the relationship a bit more.
I mean, I'm glad you felt something. I don't know why you did.
And finally, Frostmoragic says that it's good to hear that you have feelings about things
Sometimes.
in Digimon.
Rarely.
But I was really happy that you felt something, even though it wasn't particularly for Leomon, but it was for the Digivice breaking and, for Guilmon having a dark evolution. The next email is from Chakmon, and he says Takado's D-Arc breaking is a huge thing. Megaudromon is awesome, and
It's
only...
not that huge, actually. He gets a new one.
Yeah, he gets a new
an
one,
hour later.
But if you don't know that, and you're a kid, it's perplexing. Anyway, they say that...
I'm imagining like a 5-year-old who watching Digimon being like, I am perplexed.
Okay, shut up. Chakmon says Megaudromon is awesome and only really seems evil because he's angry, it's fair enough.
Also, did you notice that we never cut back to Hypnos after everything is solved?
Who cares?
It's a digital hazard. We're all gonna die. Everything's solved. And then, in Hypnos, they're being like, oh, it's fine now.
Well, have you noticed that they never cut to Hypnos when they're not relevant anymore?
But but didn't they say okay, we have a plan. Let's do this. And that was 4 episodes ago.
No, that was about getting the children back. It wasn't about the
Yeah,
digital
but they
hazard.
haven't done anything.
Maybe they're still working on it. We don't know. Just patience.
I feel like any child watching this would have forgotten that happened.
I forgot it happened. Chakmon says how Megaudromon would be, if it was calm, would be a fine, sweet partner. But Dukemon is lame because he's too superhero-y.
Look, I agree. If Megaudromon's evilness was down to a facial expression,
Yeah.
whereas you couldn't look at Skullgreymon and be like, that's a fine partner. Skullgreymon would never just walk up to Ty and be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
He's a huge skeleton evil thing. A dark evolution is meant to represent the fact that what has been done to make them evolve is not okay.
No, that's fair. Chakmon then says that you've tainted listeners with realism, Jay.
Oh no, I've made people think?
And now Chakmon sees the plot devices. We never really got attached to Leomon and Juri's partnership.
Oh.
You're tainting people, Jay. Chakmon says that seeing Rio for a quick second was awesome. And
No, it's not.
shut up. Rio's he's
Oh,
an Easter
he's
egg.
so awesome about how he did nothing.
He's an Easter egg.
He's not an Easter egg is hidden.
Okay, it's a blatant Easter egg. Chakmon then says that seeing Beelzemon adopt the powers of who he absorbs is new, and Renamon never did this in the first part. And it's also never brought up again, from what we've seen so far. So I guess Beelzemon has also forgotten that he can do it now.
Plot device. Can you say plot device?
Chakmon then says that Diginomes bringing the children blue cards should have been explored more, and then says that the Halloween Atmon episode was really cute, Gutchmon's really cute, and Chakmon loves Haru, and how he was like, wow, it hasn't been so peaceful in a long time to sit and read since Gutchmon came into his life.
Did you get the sense with the blue cards thing that they basically just mentioned it in passing, so that because the writers were like, oh, we actually have no reason for those existing. Let's just say, the gnomes brought it to them.
Well, it's better that they, gave some explanation than just, I guess, plot.
Look, it's better than nothing. But if you're going to introduce a mysterious plot device like this, maybe have a plan for how it's going to pay off. We got some messages we got some posts, I guess, on With the Will. We got from Cyan. They said that they love the podcast, and that means we love you, Cyan. Thank you very much. And especially since the Tamers transition, which is cool, because, obviously people have a lot of nostalgia for Adventure.
Yep.
But there's a lot of stuff going on in Tamers too. If it's rated really highly beforehand, and it was, And then obviously you go into it with a critical eye, and it was a lot better, and I can see sort of where that impression comes from. But then it sort of begins to pick up mistakes.
It still has problems, and Appmon's still better.
It is. It's weird. We got another one from Eugenii. Hopefully this is young Eugenii as opposed to old one, since he knows how to use computers. Eugenii says that they finally caught up. Truly champions of the digital world for slogging it through 02 and only going digimental once or twice. Jay going berserk mode when Angstron came back for no reason was a MasterCard moment.
Everyone really loves that vine of you, by the way, and you going completely nuts in that episode.
I want to listen to it again because I remember the feeling. I remember being so angry.
You were full of rage.
I was so angry. However, they disagree with me that saying that Gaudromon is better because he resembles Guillemot, and the similarity, how he looks at him is frightening. This is very similar to that email we got before.
Yeah, like a lot of people prefer Gaudromon because
it's too bad that I'm correct.
It's hauntingly similar.
Whereas Skull Greymon looks very far removed from the Greymon line. That's not true. He looks exactly like the Greymon line if you take all the skin off them. They also enjoyed my reaction to the Biomerge, which is the same reaction as the children. What is happening? I don't understand. I actually don't think that's the case. Because if you look into the details of the reactions of the children, i.e. they didn't know
reactions of them as a child, like, and as fans.
Same reaction as a child.
Yeah, as the children would watching.
Oh, perhaps Eugenii had the same reaction as a child. Fair enough.
These are just my shorthand notes of the messages we get.
Regarding Saint Gargamon, is it Saint Galgamon or is it Gargamon?
Galgamon technically, but because it's Japanese, it's Gargomon.
But it's Gargamon in English.
In English,
normally.
yes, but it's Saint Galgamon.
Fair enough.
But it's said Gargomon.
It's cool that he's heavy arms from Gundam Wing, but the design is a bother. Gargamon is chubby, Rapamon is sleek, and Saint Gargamon is big again. Terriermon's Mega being more agile would be better. Evolution wasn't as earned as Takato and Guillemot. And yeah, but that's hard. They got they had a pretty 4-minute CGI sequence. How had Bandai not jogressed the Terriermon Lopmon lines yet? I don't know what that means. Oh, Terriermon and Lopmon have been
merchandise. For merchandise.
It's actually surprising. Terriermon and Lopmon, whatever evolutions of them, they should have jogressed probably. Yeah. And they say thank you for being great podcasters. And on May's behalf, thank you. On my behalf, May is really great.
Aw, you're good too. You slog it through the Angstmon.
We got one from Digital Guy who says that Dukemon's voice in Japanese is the same as Goku. Thank you. We've been informed, but we always appreciate it.
I was really happy to learn this.
Sorry, Digital Guy.
Stop.
That might be on you.
Yeah, it's on me.
Hey, people have weird names. Frostmeragic, I'd never think that's actually the real name until I saw it 8,000 times.
Frostmeragic's a good name.
We got one from Ice Meragic. Gets good on ice cream.
So Tsurugi replied to Digital Guy and said that Stephen Bloom, who is Guillemon's English voice actor, also voiced Goku in Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, which is a game for the PlayStation. That
is an interesting... it's weird that that's not the voice actor for normal. It's in that game. Yeah. But there is a connection there.
Yeah. So it's nice to have that that separation. I like it.
We got an Anonymon on Tumblr who says that we have a nice podcast, and thank you. That means you had a nice question on Tumblr. They asked, why don't we like Dukemon's voice? He's voiced by Masako Nozawa, and it's pretty iconic. The answer is, in the Japanese, he's fine. He doesn't sound perfect, but he's fine. And in English, the problem is that he is a baby dinosaur voice laid over a 10-year-old in the body of a huge manly knight, and it just doesn't fit.
I really like his voice in the Japanese version. I've decided.
And that's really it. And also, May, could you maybe show to Jay Medieval Dukemon?
So what do you think Medieval Dukemon will look like?
The same as regular Dukemon, but not quite as science fiction-y.
Okay.
Oh, he has an axe. Is the difference? Oh, actually, no, he doesn't have his face thing is a bit more golden, I guess. Sure. He's got a green gem thing going on. I don't really know the difference. He doesn't have a shield.
Fun fact, in Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, he was actually mistitled because he has little medals, which are the things you collect, and it's called Medical Dukemon.
Okay, let's be honest, that game has a bit of a problem with some of the names transitioning into English, i.e. Bottomon with 2 shotguns.
I know.
That's the best thing in that game.
But yeah, he's a medical Dukemon, apparently.
The best thing to come out of that game is that sweet piece of fan art. We got one from
IRL
Yuya. I thought it was Eerie for a moment.
Yeah, me too.
Can't you just skip Frontier so we could hear Jay react to Sabers? Please. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. May very much wants to know how I will react
But you
to Frontier.
also want to see Frontier because you said that's a character that's fat and you like him.
Okay, I mean, I can identify with that, but at the same time, I don't really want to watch any more Digimon, but I will. Like, it's part of the thing. It's just, I'm foreseeing, sort of from now on, the pain every time we start a new season of like, okay, well, forget everything you learned in the last season because none of it's relevant anymore. Every time. And I guess another thing I've appreciated about Atmon is you're like, well, they're not even called Digimon. You can't even pretend they're the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a very similar concept, so it makes sense it's by the same people. But you can't be like, but what about the rules? Because there aren't any.
Though I'm also looking forward to what you think about Sabers. Because I like Sabers.
Is that the one with the punching?
Yes.
Sweet.
It's also the one with the special Digimon agency. They're like Hypnos, but more public.
You mean like the ones from that thing we're not allowed to talk about because we have special episodes about it?
What?
Try.
Kind of, but they're more like, they're less like secret undercover
Okay.
and more like open, like they're kind of like more like a police force kind of thing, I think.
And we got a final one from an Anonymon. Oh, wait, hold on. Like a police force, like that Power Ranger series that's like the Rangers are all Sentai?
I haven't watched Power Rangers.
Okay. So...
I wasn't allowed to. It was for boys, apparently.
Oh, your parents are terrible.
I know, I wanted to watch it, looked cool.
And we got the last one from an Anonymon who says, it's great that Jay has positive reactions to Atmon, and I think Haru is unique among the Goggle Boys. He's smart and pays attention to what Gatchmon says and finds new ways to win a fight. Watching episode 3, for example, in which we also have a glimpse of the Aptly world. What did we think of Leviathan and the fact that in the future he will be an AI that controls people? Do we know that?
You mean, no, they say that in the intro of every episode, the thing that annoys me. So, Leviathan, as in Levia, freezes and crashes. I love that so much.
No, you mean Leviathan. Ding.
I think that's a really good concept, and it's kind of spooky, and I guess the slightest bit realistic, because, like, you know, AIs are scary, they could do a thing. But I'm just over the moon that Jay doesn't hate Applymon. Like, this is weird. Like, he doesn't even... It's hard to find negative things about Applymon.
It is.
In Tamers, you can if you look really hard, you can find lots of problems with Tamers. I love Tamers, but to be fair, I love Adventure in Zero 2 as well. But you can find lots of problems. In Applymon, I struggle to get negatives out every time we record. I'm just like, I guess this thing, but it's like, it's really forcing it. All my negatives, it's good.
I'm nodding. So, I mean, we don't know much about Leviathan. I think that they're setting him up as being scary, which is really good.
I hope he's as scary as they set him up to be.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because for things to be scary, like, you have to take them really seriously. And these things, especially because they have comedic elements to them, they often sort of at the 5-yard line, like right at the end, fall over, and you're like, oh, that bad guy's crap. That happens a lot. It kind of requires, like, the reason you take bad guys seriously is because they do something that's, like, super unforgivable, i.e. why that Beelzemon killed Leomon. That's sort of what that's trying to set up, except that I don't think it was very good at it. But you got, like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z is a good example, where a lot of... There's an early fight where a bunch of people die, and you're like, oh, well, that means those bad guys are really serious. Or in Yu-Gi-Oh, people's souls get taken to the Shadow Realm, and you're like, well, in English they do anyway, otherwise they just die. And it's like, oh, this is a problem, right? But it's a kid's show about iPhone apps. It's hard to think of how serious it can get.
But they're doing a good job so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I just realized that the Atmon banking app must be a huge problem.
Oh, no.
If that was evil, it's a huge problem. The
That's not
stock
good.
market app?
Just give out people's money
Yeah.
and banking information. Jesus, alright. Or like any of those kind of apps. That's terrifying.
There's any kind of app you can imagine that would
Though,
be like huge
to
problems.
be fair, I don't feel like that would be touched on.
No. But like, oh boy.
Digimon Rumble Arena!
For Rumble Arena this week, we have a Rumble Arena suggestion from Metal Mamimon, who says, what do you think about the main characters being split into groups? with each one having their own subplots. May has mentioned she isn't very fond of the concept, but if Jay disagrees, maybe this could be a good concept to argue about.
I do disagree.
I do appreciate when they try to give different characters some character development, and with such a big group, they kind of have to separate them. I just don't appreciate the ways in which they separate them with all this forced separation. It's not like... The way that they could do is
So
like,
you
okay...
prefer the Scooby-Doo method of, hey guys, let's split up.
Yes! No, 100%. Like, it would make sense too. They say, okay, the digital world's pretty big. How about, like, 3 of us or 2 of us or whatever go searching this way for Calamon. The other ones search this way. They can probably communicate with D-Arcs. They have with other
They've
Digivices.
never ever shown that they could do that.
I just feel like they could if they tried.
That's why he has a PDA.
Or at least they go back to a meeting point every day.
Actually, there's no way they can communicate because no other Digivice has ever been able to. The D terminals would have communicated in 02.
No, the Digivices at least knew where other
They could
Digidesks
track,
were.
but that wasn't communication.
I meant tracking.
And
Or
these ones clearly
they
can't
could
do
just
that.
say, okay, we're going to meet back here every day. Or every 2 days, or whatever.
Meet back at the flag. That totally worked out.
Well, no one ever explicitly said meet back at the flag.
It really worked out, that's all I'm saying.
And I'm just saying that I feel like that'd be a lot more interesting and make a lot more sense than, oh look, this plot convenient data stream comes out every few episodes.
Now,
Which we haven't, now they're all together, I don't think we're going to see it again. I can't remember if we do.
now, I'm not going to say that it hasn't been overused. I'm not going to say that every time they have been forcibly split up has made perfect sense. At the same time, the digital world is extremely chaotic, and it makes sense that sometimes something will happen that will be simply beyond their control. They might get split up. I think the first time a data stream comes by and they panic or whatever, that's reasonable.
Yeah, but then it continued to happen.
You think if, like, in Adventure, when they're all on the floating beds and they get split up that way, that's reasonable. I don't think, and honestly, I don't think it actually makes sense for them to split up as a group.
Yeah.
I think considering how, basically, there's usually only one evolution at a time.
But to search to Calamon, I just feel like that would be more useful.
Yeah,
But also, we would get... Because I do think it's good that we split up such a big group, because then we get to focus on different characters and maybe the different characters' relationships with each other. And I just feel like, yeah, with such a big group, it's hard just to focus on one character when they're all together. And it's easier to do when you split the group up. That's fine. Splitting the group up is fine. I just really don't like when they force them.
Now, I would say the one primarily logical thing that I think I can argue with you here is that if all split ups are voluntary, you split up again along very logical lines. If you think about it, it would be like Takato would go with Kenta and Kazu, whatever, because he's their friend. Ruki would probably go alone, or with Jerry, and then Jen would go with Susie, for example. Yeah. Right? Those are pretty much always the way you'd split it up. The thing that forced split-ups do, which is very useful to the show, is putting characters together in combinations you wouldn't expect to have interesting developments.
Okay, no, I see your point. But I just feel like they still could do that in a better way, rather than the same...
Like...
Okay, you're right. Data streams were fine the first time.
Yeah.
But when they did it 2 other times after that... I'm just like, okay, are there any other ways they can get separated?
Well, yeah, but that's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing about random.
What about if they get separated running from a data stream? I don't know. Or like one falls off a cliff or something. I don't know. Do something imaginative. The god shows up and separates them. I don't know. That worked in Adventure. That was fine. What was wrong with that?
It's just that they've given themselves such a convenient plot device that they don't feel like they need to use anything else. But that's a problem with the writers, not with the concept, right?
But it's annoying.
Like, would Mimi and... what's his name? Oh my god.
Joe?
No, the other nerd.
Izzy?
That's the one. Would Mimi and Izzy have ever hung out with each other if they didn't have to?
No.
Well, there you go. That
was a
whole
great
episode with the
though.
Centaur would never have happened.
Though I did like when Joe and Mimi separated at the end of Adventure, because Mimi was not fine with them fighting anymore because she'd lost too many friends and she wanted some time to mourn.
Yeah.
And Joe stayed back with her. I liked that.
Yeah, that was sweet.
No, that was sweet. And I'm just... I don't know. I feel like it's... The data streams are just obvious
But we're
plot
not arguing
device.
about the data streams. We're not arguing about whether every time has been okay. We're arguing about whether it is okay for the group to get split up at random or get split up outside of their control, and whether that is interesting. And I think that the answer, theoretically, is yes.
I think it is, yes, I can agree with you that it is interesting, but the reason that they're splitting up also has to be interesting and believable rather than just plot convenience. And the data streams have always been, oh, look, plot convenience.
The first one was alright.
Yes, but it was also very convenient to plot. But the first time it was new, it was something new.
The one that took them all to the fight with Beelzemon was unforgivably convenient.
Yeah, but...
Not gonna lie. But the one that took them to the cloud thing was cool.
I feel like that was Katoramon's doing that one, though.
The cloud one? The first one?
No. The one where they to put them all together with Beelzemon.
So then it's not even plot convenient. It was somebody's intent.
That was just my excuse for how it's not plot convenient. But it probably just also is plot convenient. I don't know. It has problems. Any more argument?
No, I think I won.
No, you didn't.
I made you agree with me, so I think I won.
No, I don't agree with you. I feel like
You do.
data streams are bad.
But but that's not the point. The point of this question is whether it is okay for the group to get randomly split up. It has nothing to do with the data streams. That just happened to be the method
I'm
through
against forced a separation that's the same every time.
Okay, but that wasn't what the question was.
Oh, okay. Well, I modified it a bit.
Well, this is why I do the thing that I do. It's my
What's-
job.
Being a lawyer, I hate you.
Because I did win. Alright everybody, join us for the next episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is not on Crash. Azulongmon explains it all.
Or, the true enemy comes alive. Battle of the Four Holy Beasts.
Boo! And Song of Sakuyamon.
Or, Whirling Ultimate Flower. Sakuyamon evolves.
Well, I guess we know who that is.
For Weekly Wonders this week, I am going to say Amnesia, not Amnesia the Dark Descent, but just Amnesia. It is a visual novel for the PSP, and it's on PS Vita, and you can get it from the PlayStation Store, and it is really good. It's a visual novel, and you start with someone with amnesia, and you have to choose a world, and each world follows a different character's line, and yeah, it's hard to explain this without spoiling it too much, but it's really good, sometimes a bit spooky.
It's a dating sim.
No, it's not.
Do you date in it?
Yes.
It's a dating sim.
But it's not just about dating, it's about, recovering your memories, working out, who's who, getting different types of endings, not getting murdered.
That's basically what all dating is. You know that, right?
Yeah. And it's also, you have to try and not make people think that you have amnesia.
Is that not okay?
Because they can abuse it.
Oh.
And yeah, it's really good, and the character's really cute, and it's anime, and I like it. What about you? Are you going to choose that dragon thing?
No, God, I forgot about Dragon Commander, honestly. I wasn't gonna pick that. I was gonna talk about Treat or Delete.
What's that?
Treat or Delete is the most
no, you're not allowed to-
party thing. Actually watch it, it's very funny.
People won't understand it.
Okay, fine. Then I no kids will be here treating or deleting.
Yeah.
It's
So what are you going to choose? Because no
Fine,
one will
Dragon
get that.
Commander. So I played Divinity Dragon Commander, which is really cool. Basically, it's an RTS at heart. It is a bit of grand strategy, but mostly it's a real time strategy game. With it's kind of steampunky almost, bit sort of higher tech than that, and that's sort of the baseline of the game. But then there's a lot of there's a lot of campaign stuff, which is you're a dragon prince kind of thing, and you have to deal with the political rulers of these 5 nations and try to get them all on your side, and they keep proposing political change, and you have to say yes or no, and that'll include stuff like the elves really want gay marriage, but the undead, who are religious fanatics, don't want gay marriage because it's an abomination, and you have to decide whether or not you're cool with that. And all the races have their input, or there's traditionally a worker who gets fired gets 3 weeks notice, but the imps want to give them 3 minutes notice, and you have to sort of decide on that. And I think it's very interesting. And there's that part of it, and then you've got your generals as well, who you have to sort of keep happy. And then the thing that I've really, really enjoyed about it, because I'm not huge into real-time strategy games, is that if you don't really want to play the RTS so bad, you do the most basic RTS stuff at the beginning of any given match, and then you turn into a dragon, and you control it all third person, and you just go around blowing stuff up as a dragon. It's sweet.
It sounds good. I kind of want to play it after watching you play it.
It's really fun.
This is our 100th episode. How do you feel?
It's over. I'm happy. I'm so tired.
Just over 2 months until we start Frontier.
So tired.
I hope you like Digimon.
I don't.
The link dump will be linked in the description, and you can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. You can also follow us on @TranslationMon on Twitter and on Vine for the time being, while Vine is still alive, because
Rip
by
Vine.
the way, it's
Vine.
dead now. We will be changing that to, I'm thinking about maybe an Instagram account. I'm not sure, because that does videos. So for our Patreon rewards, instead of doing Vines, we will do videos. So I'll be working on that. So we can also find us, Lost in Translation Mon, on Tumblr, Facebook, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will, and we will have a Reddit thread in the Digimon subreddit, which will be linked in the description. And we'd really appreciate it if you were to review us on iTunes and or Stitcher.
We wanted to say thank you to all our lovely Patreon supporters. We got Sam Krieger, who has a podcast with Stevie called The Moncast, which is all about Pokemon and Digimon alongside each other. Wuchinglong, who you can find at twitch.tv/Wuchinglong. Metal Mamemon, Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube. Chuckmon, Ishpobamba, Hiro Olato, who is at Hiro Olato on Twitter. Jason Morosky, Frost Miragic, who is at Frost Miragic on Twitter. Stephen Reeves, who is at Wildwing64 on Twitter. Kaidawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Red and Garen from Breakfast with Digimon, which is another Digimon podcast that presumably you should only listen to in the morning. And Jams and Chisai. That's new.
Chisai.
Welcome, Chisai. Thank you very much.
You can also make a one-off donation on our PayPal, which can be found linked in the description, and it's also with our Patreon, which is also linked in the description. The PayPal is paypal.me/Airdramon, and make sure to let us know it's for the podcast. And we'll see you guys next time for our 101st episode.
Bye.
Bye!